Washington didn't see this coming. Neither did the defense industry. Canada was supposed to buy the F-35, close the deal, move on. But Sweden just dropped an offer so explosive, so strategically disruptive that the entire North American defense equation has been turned upside down. This isn't about buying fighter jets anymore. This is about independence, influence, and a geopolitical earthquake that has the Pentagon genuinely worried.
Here's what happened. For months, analysts predicted Canada would follow the script, purchase F-35s, integrate with U.S. systems, maintain the status quo. Then Sweden's Saab made a move nobody predicted. They didn't just offer to sell Gripens to Canada, they offered something far more powerful. Full domestic production, complete maintenance control, and total operational independence. Build Gripens in Canada, maintain them in Canada, upgrade them in Canada. No foreign restrictions, no dependency chains. This isn't a purchase, it's an industrial revolution. Sweden essentially told Canada, take back your aerospace sovereignty. And the timing? Perfect. Canada needs 88 new fighters, has massive Arctic territory to defend, and is increasingly frustrated with cost overruns and delays in U.S. defense programs.
Sweden didn't do this out of generosity. This is strategic genius. First, Sweden just joined NATO after decades of neutrality. They need allies who aren't completely locked into US-controlled systems. Canada is the perfect partner. Vast territory, Arctic exposure, and a demonstrated need for cost-effective, resilient fighters. Second, the Gripen E is purpose-built for exactly what Canada needs. Cold weather operations? Check. Highway landings? Check. Remote northern bases with minimal infrastructure? Check. The Gripen can scramble in 10 minutes from a cold start and operate from locations where F-35s would struggle. It's designed for dispersed operations, which is exactly how you defend the Canadian Arctic. Third, industrial partnership. Sweden offers what the US rarely does: genuine technology transfer, domestic job creation, and freedom from foreign control. Canada gets to rebuild its aerospace sector, while Sweden gains a North American manufacturing hub. It's a win-win that breaks the traditional client-supplier relationship.
Let's be direct. The Pentagon is not happy about this. And here's why. Problem 1. NORAD integration. If Canada switches to Gripen, NORAD becomes a dual-fleet system where not every aircraft is American-made. That reduces U.S. operational control over North American air defense. Problem 2. The Gripen effect. When one major NATO country chooses Gripen over F-35, it opens the floodgates. Netherlands, Denmark, Belgium, Finland, Spain. All these countries start asking uncomfortable questions about F-35 costs and dependency. Canada buying Gripen could trigger a domino effect across NATO. Problem 3. A Canadian Gripen hub would be catastrophic for U.S. aerospace dominance in the Western Hemisphere. Imagine Canada becomes the training, maintenance, and upgrade center for Gripens across North and South America. That's a strategic nightmare for Washington. It means reduced influence, reduced sales, and reduced control over allied air forces.
Now, here's what shocked analysts. The Gripen E isn't just cheaper. It's technologically competitive in ways that matter for Canada's mission. Advanced IRST that can track stealth aircraft, electronic warfare systems that can jam F-35 sensors, Meteor missiles with 3 times the beyond visual range engagement distance of AMRAAM, supercruise capability without afterburners, maintenance costs roughly 1/4 of the F-35, and operational flexibility that's unmatched. The Gripen can operate from frozen airstrips, forest highways, and remote northern bases with minimal support infrastructure. For Canada's actual defense needs, Arctic sovereignty, long-range patrols, rapid response across vast territory, the Gripen might actually be the better choice. Not because it's stealthy, but because it's available, affordable, and adaptable. In northern warfare, those qualities often matter more than raw technological superiority. This offer has created shockwaves far beyond Canada. NATO is watching because if Canada chooses Gripen, the alliance becomes less dependent on US technology, more diversified, more strategically independent. That could be good for NATO resilience, but it challenges American leadership. Russia is watching because the Gripen was specifically designed to counter Russian air power. Putting Gripens in Canada's Arctic approaches directly impacts the strategic balance in the high north. It changes Russian calculations about air superiority in the region. China is watching because this demonstrates that US technological monopoly is weakening. If even close US allies are choosing European alternatives, it signals declining American influence in the global defense market. And other nations are watching because Sweden just proved that smaller countries can compete with US defense giants by offering genuine partnerships instead of client relationships.
Canada faces a decision that goes far beyond fighter jets. Choose the F-35 and maintain traditional alliance structures, but accept dependency and cost overruns. Choose the Gripen and gain independence, industrial revival, and strategic flexibility, but potentially strain relations with Washington. Sweden's surprise offer changed everything because it gave Canada a real choice, not just between aircraft, but between dependence and sovereignty. The world is watching Canada's next move, because whichever direction Canada chooses, it will redefine the future of air power, alliance structures, and defense industrial strategy for decades to come. The question isn't just what Canada will buy, it's what kind of defense partner Canada wants to be. And that decision will echo far beyond Canadian airspace.